Welcome back to another episode of the Eduverse Enigma podcast. This week, we're chatting with XpertVR's very own CEO and co-founder, Evan Sitler-Bates. This episode, we'll be diving into the Xpert Xplorer and answer popular questions we've been asked about the bus. You won't want to miss it.
Hello, and welcome back to the Eduverse Enigma podcast. This week, kind of another fun episode, short episode. We're just giving an update on the bus. So if you haven't heard, XpertVR has purchased and is building the Xpert Xplorer. So I have a bunch of questions here on my phone that I will go through that people have been asking on social media, asking me personally, and just sending these questions to me. And hopefully this podcast can help answer a bunch of the questions, as well as we'll be cutting this into a bunch of clips so that we can answer the questions all over social media. So let's hop into it, and then maybe I'll give a quick tour of what the bus is looking like right now. So what is the Xpert Xplorer, or Jeff? So the name of the bus is the Xpert Xplorer, and Jeff is kind of the nickname for it. The nickname is Jeff because we have some bots in our group chat in Discord that we have for our team, and one of the bots is named Jeff, and for whatever reason, we have made the bus now named Jeff. But what is the Xpert Xplorer? It is this school bus that we are converting. And sorry if you're watching or you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever, you won't be able to see unless you're watching the video portion on YouTube. But I am sitting in the bus right now, so you can kind of see what it's looking like. We're 19 days out from when we're hitting the road. But yeah, what is it? The Xpert Xplorer basically is a school bus, was a school bus that just 5 months ago was driving kids to school. And I bought it off of a guy, and now it is converted into, or is going to be converted into, a portable VR studio and demo space, as well as a podcast studio. And so we'll be having all kinds of amazing people in here on the podcast and being able to try VR inside and outside of the bus, and so many more exciting things that we'll be able to do around North America. So what is the reason for the Xpert Xplorer? Kind of hinted at it there, but basically the Xpert Xplorer is so that we can get VR into the hands of as many people as possible across North America, mostly educators and trainers, so that they can see the power of virtual reality in training and what it can do. And really, we've seen that getting VR onto someone's head, and so they can actually experience the simulations we build, the simulations our friends and partners build, and just all the other simulations that are out there, is what really convinces somebody of the power of this technology. And we can see already the impact it's having on firefighters, police officers, and all the other education spaces that we're in and that our partners are in. And so to get VR into the hands of more people will allow this impact to spread and hopefully save more lives and just make education a much more enjoyable experience for everyone. What is the vision of XpertVR? Kind of a side question that I added in there, but lines up with that previous question. The vision of XpertVR is to build a collaborative future where education is accessible, engaging, and impactful for all. And this bus is an extension of that. Just like I said, we're bringing VR to people in different communities. Some of these communities, hopefully, will be northern communities that might not have access to this technology on a regular basis, like a city like Toronto would. So being able to get there, build the accessibility. It's obviously a very engaging thing to see on social media and to engage with people on the podcast and just have this kind of a talking piece as we're talking about XpertVR. And it's making an impact by getting VR to more hands, more people. So it really aligns with everything within the vision, and we're collaborating with a lot of amazing people to build the bus and to get it across the country as well. And on that note, where are we going? So we are going right across North America, starting here in Ontario, Canada. I'm in Kitchener right now, so we'll be starting from Kitchener, and then we will be heading right across North America, hitting all of Canada first, the western half of Canada first, and hitting the east coast as we loop back up. But we'll be heading right across Ontario into Manitoba, and then Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, hopefully make it up to the Yukon. We'll have to see timelines there, but hopefully, and then right down the west coast, and we'll kind of zigzag back through the states, hitting as many places as we can going along. And with that, where is our first stop? So if you have ever seen on social media, or maybe you know outside of social media, if you're a firefighter, police officer, the World Police and Fire Games. Basically, this is a competition where if you've seen firefighters running up different ladders and throwing hoses over their back in some sort of competition, or you've seen police officers in some sort of competition where they're wrestling different dummies to the ground and doing all kinds of police-looking activities, but in a competition-type space. This is basically the Olympics of police and fire, and it is happening at the end of this month, end of July, and into August in Winnipeg. So that is our first stop. You can see the bus is coming along. We're working on it, and it will be ready for that conference, that event, and we will be there at the trade show, getting to talk to all kinds of police officers, firefighters, and first responders, as well as then at the actual games. We'll be set up right beside one of the main fields and arenas, so that we can have people on the podcast, demo VR to everybody that's there at the game. So very exciting time to be heading there, and I'm just excited to watch the games in general, but as well be involved as we are. So from there, continue heading west. On that note as well, we've been asked, what conferences will you be at? This will be releasing a full list very soon, but we've got about 10 conferences lined up. Most of them in the police and firefighting and first responder space. But we also have some education conferences, some VR conferences, some just technology conferences lined up as well. So very excited. The bus won't be at all of them. We're talking with conference organizers, and if you run a conference in any of those spaces and you'd like to have the bus there, please reach out. We'd love to chat. But yeah, we'll have the bus at a bunch of conferences so that it can be kind of the centerpiece of what we're trying to show off, as well as kind of add a really cool factor to the conferences where you're able to try VR as a conference goer. You're experiencing VR in the context of your industry. And if you're a leader in that industry, or you're just big into technology and you want to chat, we could have you on the podcast. And having a podcast studio right in the back is just going to be really exciting. How long will we be on the road? So like I said, we're going to 10 conferences. We're going right across North America. So the plan at the moment, I'll be honest, it's a plan that fluctuates. But right now we're at about 10 months that we'll be on the road, looping, like I said, right across Canada, and then kind of a U and zigzagging back up through the States to the East Coast of Canada. So about 10 months, it could go to 12. Who knows? Maybe we'll go really well and I'll be loving the road. And it will go on indefinitely. We'll see how things go. We'll see how many stops we're able to hit in the first 10 months there, and continue from there. So yeah, reach out as we're on the road, and maybe we'll stop at your spot, which is the next question. Perfect. What if you want us to stop at your school or your location, your city, your fire department, your police station? What do you do? Reach out to us. Talk to us. Like I said, you kind of know the rough path. We're pretty flexible. We're kind of just setting some major cities right now and some different universities and colleges that we want to stop at with the connections we currently have, as well as just ones that we'd love to go and chat with amazing professors that are doing amazing work, or firefighters, police officers doing amazing work that we can stop in and chat with. So if that's you, if you just think that your university, your college is behind the times and needs more VR in the education that they're providing at your college, university, your fire department, wherever, we'd love to stop in and show off what's going on. So yeah, just reach out to us and we'll try to fit you into the trip. And if not, we'll have one of our somebody from our team fly out or drive out to see you and give you a demo at your school without the bus, and then hopefully we can loop back and get the bus there eventually as well. So lots of options. Would love to come visit you if it sounds of interest to you. And how much would it cost? That's a question that we've been getting. How much would it cost? Well, we normally charge anywhere between $2,500 to $5,000 for different speaking engagements, an hour, a couple hours speaking about the future of virtual reality. But the amazing part about this bus and the accessibility that I mentioned in our vision, and then in the mission of this bus, is that we want to make this as accessible as possible. So while we're on the road, if we can squeeze your stop in that 10-month trip, it's completely free. We're coming by, we're demoing VR, we're gonna have a lot of fun. No charge at all. We want to show off this amazing technology that's out there and how it's impacting the education system. are you looking for sponsors? I guess continuing the money trends there. Are we looking for sponsors? That's a great question. We are. So we are partnering with particular people. We're not just letting any Joe Blow sponsor the bus and work with us. But yeah, we're definitely looking for sponsors. We would love to have different VR companies, other education companies, anybody that you think might be a right fit, please reach out. And we're looking for sponsors that can work with, obviously, cash to help pay for gas and everything as we go through this trip. Obviously, if we don't get any sponsors, we got a few already, but if we don't get any more, we're all good. XpertVR is sponsoring the bus. It is the Xpert Xplorer. But if there's other sponsors that want to get involved and hear this vision and the impact that we're trying to have, we'd love to have you on board. So let's chat. And on that note, are there any particular sponsors we're looking for? We've had a few people reaching out about sponsoring and wondering if they're the right fit. And we're happy to talk to anybody. If you think you're a great fit for the bus and the Xpert Xplorer, and you hear that vision and you resonate with it, we would love to have you as a sponsor. We'd love to chat about having you as a sponsor. But there definitely are a couple particular ones. I think number one, top of our mind, it's a big bus. It doesn't get the greatest mileage. So we are looking around. If Petro-Canada, Esso, Irving, somebody wants to reach out and talk about sponsoring, obviously we'll chat with you on that side of things so that we can power right across North America with some nice gas cards. But beyond that, we're really looking, I think, first and foremost for other VR software companies that we can work with to show off their VR software, their training and education software, or maybe some fun games along the road as we're stopping at all these places. We're also looking for some hardware sponsors. We've been talking with some of the major VR hardware manufacturers, and we work with them all already, and have good partnerships with them. So looking at maybe some sponsorship in that kind of realm. Definitely as well, there's just like a lot of different amazing different pieces of equipment and tools and things that we're using inside the bus. So we're talking to some of those companies. We kind of have most of the equipment already that we've just purchased ourselves. But as some of these companies are releasing new technology, we'd love to check it out. For example, we just got an air conditioning unit and heater from EcoFlow. Looking at their solar panels and their batteries, they're doing some amazing work and just empowering people to be on the road and to live off the grid. So EcoFlow, you want to reach out? We'd love to chat. As well, food, all those things. So there's a good variety of different people we'd love to chat with. But like I said, it's the XpertVR Xpert Xplorer. So we don't need sponsors. It's not like a priority right now, but we are starting to reach out and talk with people so that we can work together. And we've got all kinds of different options for sponsorship, from having your logo on the bus to having you really promoted through our social media to building a game with you. There's a whole bunch of different ideas that we're working on. So reach out, let's chat. Why a bus? That's a good question. Why a bus? Well, obviously we're in the education space, so I think it fits really well. But I'll be honest, when we first came up with this idea, we were talking about an ambulance. We're looking at sprinter vans, possibly just looking at a car that we could put like one of those tents on top so we could just travel everywhere and be off the grid, not need to find hotels and motels and everything, but be able still to travel everywhere and have the gear that we need. But we kind of just landed, the bus is the perfect size for having everything, all the amenities that we wanted to put in it, having a great space for the podcast studio. And it's cool. It's a bus. We're not trying to be like stealth camping out here. We're trying to partner with different campgrounds, also pay for different campgrounds, all kinds of cool camping apps that are out there that we can partner with to stop at their location. And there's one called Harvest Host where we're stopping in, and they have different wineries and museums and things where you stop there and you get to go experience whatever amenities they have for the day, and then you're sleeping there. So having the bus just kind of allowed for all of the amenities that we needed, was the size that we needed, and it worked perfectly because we're in the education space. Buses are for education for the most part. And this one was delivering students to school, driving students to school. just over 5 months ago. So just really cool to come full circle and take Jeff on the road. How is it getting made? So we have not hired some professional company or anything to build this bus. Me as the CEO, I've been working full-time, more than full-time hours, obviously on XpertVR. And then every weekend I've been working on the bus, getting it renovated. I will say I am not a super handy person. I've learned a lot over the past 4.5 or so months. But I've had so many amazing friends, family friends, my dad's friends, all kinds of people coming over to help me work on the bus. And this week is no exception. We're 19 days, as I'm recording this, away from hitting the road. You can see there is quite a bit of work still to be done behind me. But earlier today, there was even more. These cabinets weren't here. This shower that's here wasn't here. The bed that you can't see wasn't there. So all of those things were built today, and things are really speeding up now as we're coming into this crunch time. So yeah, it is getting built with the help of the community and so many friends and myself just working on the bus, and it's been a really fun process. But it is a little tiring working every weekend on the bus, so excited for it to be on the road and to be experiencing it on the road. And we'll definitely be shouting out, or already have been, but continue to shout out all the amazing people that help us on the bus, both as friends as well as the companies that we worked with to get the solar panels installed, from Berlin Power, getting the bus from Justin. We'll make sure to shout him out on social media, and Justin has an amazing company to get these buses, which I don't know if it's in this list of questions for sure, but that leads to another question. Where'd you get this bus and how does that work? Because I think a lot of people see this and they're interested in how they could do it themselves. So Justin, like I said, we'll make sure to shout him out on social media and get you the contact if you're watching there. But Justin basically runs a company where he buys school buses off of school boards. So I learned in purchasing this bus that school boards can only have a bus on the road for 10 years. Once it reaches 10 years, no matter the kilometers on it, damage, anything, it has to be taken off the road. So those buses then have to be sold and auctioned off. And Justin has partnerships with a lot of these school boards. So then instead of having to go through that process, he just buys them all. And I was talking to him a couple days ago, and he is flipping these buses. I think he's at 5 per week that they're selling, and they're used for living out of like this. They're used for all kinds of different things. I think there was a glass blowing company coming out of it. I think there was some sort of welding or repair company using them. All kinds of different people are using these buses. So really cool. So yeah, connect with Justin. He's amazing, out of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Has all kinds of buses. They also do the bus renovations. If you're worried about doing this, they can do that. And there's a lot of other amazing companies out there, as I've been watching all the YouTube tutorials from. So yeah, we got this. Last 3 questions here. What will it look like when it's done? So in the inside, you can kind of see, we'll do a full tour. And I think I said at the start of this that I might walk around. So let's do a quick walk around if you are watching. Hello. So here is the shower getting installed. It's going to have corrugated metal sheets on there for it. You can see the bed. It's a Murphy bed in the back there. We will have, right beside the shower, we'll have the sink, the toilet, and then the bed. Over on this side, you'll see a little area for shoes and storage, the stove top, much more storage for cooking and everything. There will be some shelves up here, and then a desk and bench, and both the bed and the desk will fold down so that you can have even more bench space and seating space for having guests in and for the podcast studio. So that's very, very quick tour there. But that's kind of, if you could imagine it, like I said, we'll do a full tour when it's done, but if you can imagine it, that's what it will look like inside. And then outside of the bus, we will have it fully wrapped. So it's currently yellow. If you've seen the videos that we've posted, it's currently yellow. You can't legally have a bus be on the road in yellow in most areas, including Ontario. I've been driving around with the yellow. No cops pulled me over, but need to get it painted. So we're going to get a vinyl wrap, actually. It's going to be the XpertVR blue, and then we're doing a design. We're still finalizing the exact design, but a couple things on it. Very excited to have it fully finalized so that we can share it. Like I said, we got 19 days, so it will be finalized very shortly and wrapped very shortly. So excited to share what it will look like, but in general, the XpertVR blue fully wrapped. You'll see some solar panels on the roof, and other than that, looks like a short bus. What is happening to the Tesla? So if you have met with myself or anybody on the XpertVR team in person, probably pulled up in the Tesla Model 3, which is the XpertVR mobile. And yeah, Drew, my business partner, COO of XpertVR, he will be taking on the Tesla once I hit the road with this bus and start going all over the place. Yeah, he'll be driving the Tesla. So if you're meeting with people in Ontario, he'll be pulling up with the Tesla. You can still take rides in it. We've taken a few customers and partners on rides. Everyone enjoys it. It's a fun car. I am sad to see it go, but excited to be on the road with the bus, which I think answers a question that I skipped over. Who is in the bus? It will be me traveling around, stopping. We'll have different team members at conferences and stopping in with me, but it will be me on the road with the bus. I have Starlink hooked up, so I'll be working remotely and still be able to do all my regular XpertVR duties, but also traveling around in the bus. So very excited for that. I think I said 3 questions a couple questions ago, but now I'm remembering a few others that I might have skipped over here. So some quick ones here. How big is the bus? The bus is 24 feet long, about 8 feet wide. Where will you sleep, eat, shower, etc. / what's in the bus? So I quickly went over tour there, but yeah, full amenities, shower, toilet, composting toilet is what it is. Sink, stovetop, fridge, a bed. It's a double bed. Yeah, everything someone could need to live is going to be in the bus, completely self-contained. Just need to fill up water and propane, and has solar, so technically you could never need to plug in. Probably will a lot, but yeah, that is what's in the bus and how I will be able to eat, sleep, shower, etc. All right, and then I think last question here, I'll wrap it up. Where can I see more? If you're interested, you listen to this podcast, maybe you haven't heard about the Xpert Xplorer yet, maybe you've seen a couple videos, but you haven't quite understood what's going on. Hopefully this podcast gave you some context, but where can you see more? Basically, follow us on social media. We'll be posting all the main videos on the XpertVR pages so that you can see all the main updates. Follow me on LinkedIn at Sitler-Bates to see kind of all the business updates or all the extra ones beyond XpertVR. So as we're stopping into different cities and doing demos and all those sorts of things, I'll have that posted on my LinkedIn, as well as a lot of it on the XpertVR pages. And then lastly, if you want to see more of the behind the scenes, maybe less of the business side of things, and I'll still share some of that, but less of the business side of things and more of the adventure side of things, follow the TikTok. So Evan Sitler-Bates, that's EVAN.SITLER.BATES on TikTok. Just follow along there, and yeah, I'll be posting regular updates. Now that we're in the final countdown, I'm posting videos every day just to kind of show what's going on, showing what's been going on. So yeah, we'll have all kinds of the adventure stuff there. Hopefully that answered a lot of your questions about the Xpert Xplorer. I'm sure we'll be doing another podcast once it's fully done and we've been on the road for a little bit to tell you what the experience has been like. And then we'll have tons of podcasts in here with guests, which I'm really excited about. And we'll have AC by that point because I am sweating right now if you're watching the video. So excited to have that AC and fan installed so that our guests do not have to sweat like I am right now. Yeah, so follow along and we'll catch you on the road. And for now, Eduverse Enigma out.